Hello and welcome to the show. I am here on Forza 6 with another autocross car build. My vehicle today is the first Porsche to go around this autocross track. I have gone for the Cayman GTS. Now, this car, pretty damn good handling vehicle, certainly, from standard. And we have some PI, actually more PI to play with than I was kind of expecting from this one. It starts towards the top of B class, which, yes, is higher than quite a lot of vehicles that have gone, but that still gives me a fair amount of options when it comes to parts. We won't be changing engines. What engines can we get while I'm here? We can get the 4.5 litre V8 into it. We're not going to be changing engines. We may come. I don't think we're going to bother with aspiration either, because of course for autocross the most important thing is going to be handling. We're going to want as much in the way of handling parts as we can get. So some race tyres is a good start. What have we got tyre size wise? Only 285s on the Porsche. For A class and for a full handling build, that generally shouldn't be too bad. And we're not going to have the masses of power, 265 on the front as well. We're not going to have the masses of power or the masses of torque that we have seen from some vehicles, so I don't foresee any traction issues. From standard, 340 horsepower, 280 foot-pounds of torque. The slight concern with this car is that we could be underpowered. We had a similar problem with the Ferrari 355. Again, another car that starts off relatively high PI-wise when it comes to these builds. And, 340 horsepower is a good amount of power. But when it comes to the autocross builds, when we've seen cars that have been, under £2,000 running 400 horsepower or 400 plus horsepower, that's when, it starts to become a little bit of a problem. While, yes, the Cayman is a modern car, it's a 2015 car, I'm still going to want the chassis rigidity. Yes, it does add some weight. We're going to take a whole bunch of weight off now, and just any handling bits I can get are going to be crucial to the car, because the course is all about handling. The weight reduction is going to jump the PI up almost to the top of A class. We're down to £2,500 though. So we have got a fair amount of that weight out of the Porsche, which is good. Now, we do not have very much PI to play around with at all. Thought I was pushing my luck trying to get an exhaust part on. Can we get... Okay, right, we can get one. We can get one upgrade there. Now, are any of these going... I suspect most of these are probably going to increase too much. Yeah, I doubt any of these are going to be... Now, these might... We might get valves on. I don't think we're going to get more, though. So that's 5 horsepower, and that is 5 horsepower as well. That doesn't save any weight. Do you save any weight? Well, we're talking about points because, Okay, 4 torque, and this gives me 4 torque as well. So they're both near enough identical. We might as well go for... We'll go for valves then. We'll go for that there. That gives us now 2 PI left to play around with. So we'll put on the diff. I don't want to forget the diff like I did with the Skyline. And then we will go... are we going to have... I bet this is going to be an awkward one. I bet the gearbox is going to shoot the PI... okay, let's put the PI down. Has it actually changed anything in here? 178, 3.9, 8.7, 3.9, 8.7, 178. Or we could go for the... well, seeing as that doesn't make a blind bit of difference. And wait, does it increase weight? No, yeah. 3 PI points? I'm not going to turn that one down. Let's go for a driveline then, and we might get flywheel in as well. There's an odd one. Can't say I've ever seen the gearbox do that before. Yeah, we'll get a flywheel in as well. 345 horsepower, 284 foot-pounds of torque. We are down on power, certainly, compared to some of the crazier vehicles that have gone around. My hope is that the Cayman will make up for it in composure. So, of course, to test out the Cayman, we have taken it to the Hockenheim circuit, where it'll get 3 runs through the autocross course. Our current leader is the Renault 5 Turbo with a time of 205.2, a mighty, mighty fast time. And the Porsche, while I suspect this is going to be a good car, I'm not sure we're quite going to have the speed to compete with that Renault. Admittedly, the Renault made most of its time in the final sector, but even then, I don't know if the Cayman's quite going to be able to keep up with the Renault. I do expect this to go possibly top 10. We might be looking around the Alfa Romeo 4C, the Ferrari 355, that kind of area, I think is where we could well see the Cayman fit into. That is assuming, of course, that it drives as nicely as I expect. I see no reason why it won't. It was a lovely car to drive on Horizon 2. I think I had a very quick rally car build on this one, if I have remembered correctly. So, yeah, I do kind of expect this to be a nice car, and it is. Immediately. Admittedly, the last car I drove around here was the Vandura that wibbled and wobbled and wanted to fall over, but immediately, I pushed my luck a little too much through there. Immediately, it feels such a nice car to drive. It feels incredibly rigid through the corners. Again, I think that's probably having gone from the Vandura, and on the most part, we've been using classic cars for this, and that's because that's the cars you guys have wanted to see. I've been using the cars that have been highly requested in comments, and yeah, people who want to see classic cars, so I've been driving them, but this is a properly nice car to drive around here. It is, yeah, I really like it. I really like this car already. It's not quite got the same acceleration as the likes of the Opel Kadett and so on, and that's not surprising. As I said, they're 600 pounds lighter and have 50, 60 more horsepower. They're going to be quicker accelerating. However, this gets through the gates so very nicely. Just got to watch it on that first high-speed one, and it is very easy to clip the first high-speed one. If you're trying to get that absolutely perfect line through there, carry as much speed as you can, it is easy to get yourself into some trouble. We've got no issues around here. There is a tiniest little bit of understeer through a couple of these corners. Certainly nothing to worry about in here. It's nicely around the hairpin. I tried to jump on the throttle a little too soon and almost got myself into some trouble as we come up towards these final corners. I suspect the Cayman will probably be quite good through these. Whether it's quite Renault 5 good, I'm not sure. That Renault was an absolute monster. Yeah, I'm liking the Cayman through here as well. This is a very solid car. The first run, well, there was one clip gate, a 213.4, and that's a 5-second time penalty. I'm thinking I might be fairly accurate with my timings for this vehicle. So, on to the second run for the Cayman. Well, aside from the first high-speed gate, that opening run was pretty damn good with this car. Hopefully we can find a little bit of time around the lap. It's a very good car, though, for autocrossing. It's a very responsive car and quite a nice predictable car, nice and planted for me, which is always good. We just got to not clip the barrel on the inside down here, and yeah, try and see how much speed we can take. A little bit. I was a little bit cowardly on that run, just to try and make sure that I could get through without clipping anything. Well, we'll see what time we can make up elsewhere around this lap. Yeah, this is it's just such a nice car to drive. There are some vehicles that you just enjoy driving, and this is very much going to be one of them. I think it's as good as the NSX, I think, in terms of handling around here. It really is just that planted on the road. There's that lovely precision to it. You know what it's going to do whenever you come up to one of these corners. There's no nasty surprises from the Cayman. Perhaps a tiny bit of understeer when really pushed, but that works for me. The brakes, perhaps the biggest downfall, and I say that, I mean, we're only talking minor amounts on this car. It is only by a tiny amount. They just don't quite feel as sharp as we have seen from some other vehicles. They're certainly not bad, though, and we are quite neatly done through there. There's a bit more of a slow into that corner, and then we get a nice quick run out the other side. Oh, get it stopped down at the hairpin. I have a little bit of issue with locking up of the Cayman's brakes, which is surprising. I haven't had that. There's sometimes with some cars, it's just something that yeah, can happen with them. You can have just little bits of issues with locking the brakes. I don't think first was a good idea for that section. We did get a little bit of a wheel spin. Now, can we make up some time through this section. Will the Cayman get change direction as well as a Renault 5 Turbo? It's pretty good. A run to the line, 208.2 on that run. There are a couple of mistakes. I was a little slow through the fast bit, and we got a bit of wheel spin towards the end of the lap. I think there's a little bit more time in it for the Porsche. So, on to the final run for the Cayman. Well, if I'm wanting this to kind of get towards the top 10, we could do with finding about a second on this final run. Perhaps it's slight lack of power in comparison to the other vehicles that have gone around here may be its undoing, and that can be the problem. Certainly we're starting with the higher PI cars for this kind of thing. Yeah, that can be a problem when you really want the handling parts on a vehicle such as this one. Yeah, that can be an issue. Right, we are quick though through there that time. Very quick actually, 107 miles an hour is among the faster vehicles. In all honesty, is among the faster vehicles to go through that section. It's still not quite up there with the Beetle. The Beetle's 110, 112, however much, it was a lot of miles an hour, is still pretty much unbeaten through there, but the Cayman did very, very well, and then we're going to have no problems being flat out down here. Again, we're up to 116 miles an hour, so it's not too bad for straight line speed, despite being that little bit down on power and that little bit up on weight in comparison. Oh, the tyres were wanting to let go there as I absolutely nailed the car through the corner. Try and get as much speed out of the damn thing as I can. Change direction nicely through there. I think we could probably get away with running the curbs. The Cayman feels very, very planted. I don't think we would have issues. Again, I mean, we're not having issues with wheel spin. We're not having sliding issues. I don't think we would have issues with going on two wheels if we were to brush the curb. It's just a really nice, well sorted out car, this one. I also played it absurdly close to the outside cones there. Right, that's neater through the hairpin. Just a few more corners to go. We do have to have a little lift. There is just that bit of understeer when I'm absolutely flooring it as much as I dare with this car. I did exactly the same thing again down there. When really, really pushed, it is going to go to understeer as opposed to oversteer. That works for me, but oh no, it doesn't quite get changed as well as the Renault 5 down there. Have we found any time? We haven't. I know, a 208.3 on that last run. It's a little bit of a shame for the Cayman. I think we have a couple of issues, and they're only minor ones. It feels like a lovely car to drive. Very, very bloody similar to that NSX. It's incredibly similar to the NSX in the way that it feels very, very similar to drive. It is an incredibly nice car to drive, this. A phenomenally nice vehicle. It feels like an incredible sports car. But when pushed really, really hard, we do get a smidge of understeer. And it was only really on that final run I noticed it when I was trying to get that little bit quicker. If something's going to give up, it's going to give up and go to understeer. Now, I prefer that to being to oversteer, but it means that I can't perhaps quite carry the speed as we go around some of the corners. It does feel very well sorted out, but yeah, just that little bit of understeer could cause potential issues. And again, the acceleration isn't the fastest. It's not bad in this car. Again, I am surprised by the lap time. I was expecting a little bit more from the vehicle, but there we go. The time will put the Cayman into 23rd place. It is a fraction down on the Ford Mustang, a fraction ahead of the Holden Torano. It does beat the NSX. It is down, though, on the likes of the MX-5, the BAC Mono. It's slower than the Datsun 510 and so on. Yeah, I think perhaps these higher starting PI cars have not tended to fare particularly well around here. This is a fantastic car to drive. Despite the time not being mighty impressive, I would highly recommend you go and have a go with it if you have the Porsche DLC, because it is a bloody nice race car. Just, yeah, something about it struggled around here. So, yeah, there we go. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.